Coming up next on Newswatch.
Reactions to one of the most powerful men in Congress stepping down. Authorities are working to keep you and your family safe as a new fest comes to town.
And in sports, Ohio football takes on a Big Ten opponent in the Minnesota Gophers. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens. This is Newswatch.
House Speaker John Boehner has announced he will be stepping down from his position at the end of next month. Good evening, I'm Ann Jacob. Thanks for joining us. Those close to the ex-House Speaker say he made the final decision just last night. One Representative Speaker Boehner works closely with in the House is Steve Stivers. Stivers represents a large portion of Southeast Ohio. He says he was surprised when he first heard about Boehner's announcement.
I think the Speaker's act today was a very selfless act that I hope will force all of us to look in the mirror and say, how can we do what's right for our constituents and what's right for America to solve the problems that a lot of American people and families have out there today and try to really be a difference maker in a positive way.
Stivers is not the only person who works closely with Boehner who was surprised by his departure. Ohio Governor John Kasich says he and Boehner were friends, and he's sad to see the Speaker go. According to Stivers, it's too early to guess who will be the next Speaker, but Kevin McCarthy is second in command. He said it all depends on who decides to run. Leadership elections will be done by the end of October. Stay tuned to Newswatch for more reactions from Washington in the Speaker's resignation. The importance of voting and its history is vital, but some may forget. Ohio University's Omega Phi Sci-Fi fraternity, made sure they reminded people of the importance of voting by hosting guest speaker Christopher Cooper, who discussed the issue last night. Cooper highlighted the struggles African Americans and women faced before receiving the right to vote. Cooper, also along with Omega Sci-Fi's member Percy Miller, encourages all students to vote.
We should definitely get out and vote. It's very important to get your opinion out there. If you don't vote, don't have an opinion.
Recent statistics show everyone who registers to vote in Athens doesn't always take advantage of it. Athens County Board of Elections Director Debbie Quibby says she doesn't understand why people don't vote.
I always compare it to the old saying, if you can lead a horse to water but you can't make them drink. We can get people to register to vote, and there can be advocate groups, they can get them to register, but actually getting them to go vote on election day, well, that's another story.
The deadline for voting registration is October 5th at 9 p.m. To register, visit the Athens County Board of Elections website. Members of Omega Sci-Fi plan to continue to encourage students to vote. Country music fans have a weekend lined up just for them in Athens County. Country star Sam Hunt is slotted to headline tomorrow's Country Night Lights Festival. This is the first country festival in Athens. The event's promoter, Prime Social Group, hired on the Athens County Sheriff's Office to help keep the event safe. Sheriff Rodney Smith says there will be a heavy presence of law enforcement in and around the venue off West Union Street and Township Highway 557. Today, Sheriff Smith sat down with WOUB and gave festival goers some tips.
We can keep people off the state route is probably our major issue. So if they can show us a little patience and show the people that puts on the event some patience, I think we can safely get people in and out of there. And, again, with alcohol moderation.
In an effort to keep people from walking on the highway after the event, camping will be offered with the purchase of a $20 camping pass. A list of prohibited items for the campsite can be found on our website at woub.org. Country Night Lights, will start at 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Well, if you are heading out to Country Night Lights this Saturday, you might see a chance of some rain, but right now in Athens, it's 71 degrees. We do have mostly cloudy skies out there with, and if you look on our tower cam, you can see that those cloudy skies are moving their way in now. Looking around the region, temperatures are, our headlines for tonight, we might see a chance of showers and some cooler temperatures, and I'll have some more about my weekend forecast. That's coming up a little bit later in the show. Ann?
Thanks, Allison. More than 1,000 local governments have put their spending information online. Ohio Treasurer Josh Mandel has made the information available through his office's website. Mandel says the information includes more than $14 billion in spending. He expects the numbers to grow as more local officials register their spending online. And Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine's office is reminding law enforcement that they have 6 months to submit untested rape kits. DeWine was at the forefront of the push for getting previously untested rape kits tested. The law now requires backlogged rape kits to be submitted for testing by the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Of the 10,000 previously untested rape kits submitted, 8,000 have been submitted for possible DNA matches. And a former high school football star now has a reduced sex offender status. A judge announced today Trent Mays now has the lowest level sex offender status. He now must register annually as a sex offender for the next decade. Mays was found delinquent in the rape of a 16-year-old girl when he was 17. He served 2 years in an Ohio Department of Youth Services facility before his release earlier this year. A federal judge is refusing to dismiss a lawsuit against a chemical giant, DuPont. The two ongoing test cases could potentially help settle more than 3,500 similar lawsuits. The lawsuit claims the company knew about potentially dangerous risks posed by their Parkersburg plant. The claims allege that DuPont's dumping of the chemical known as C8 into the drinking water caused diseases, including cancer. And coming up on Newswatch, Washington reacts to Congressman John Boehner's resignation. More on his time in New York when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Republican Speaker of the House John Boehner is stepping down from the congressional seat he's held for a quarter of a century at the end of October. Steve Danis has more from the Speaker tonight.
An emotional John Boehner told reporters turmoil in the House led him to decide it was time to go.
I don't want my members to have to go through this. I certainly don't want the institution to go through this. And so, especially when, I knew I was thinking about walking out the door anyway.
Boehner has been under pressure from conservatives in his own party to take a stronger stance in support of their issues, like blocking federal funding for Planned Parenthood. At the Values Voter Summit in Washington, GOP presidential candidate Ted Cruz credited the conservative movement for forcing Boehner's hand.
Yesterday, John Boehner was Speaker of the House. Y'all come to town and somehow that changes. My only request is, can you come more often?
Boehner reached his final decision after presiding over a rare joint session of Congress addressed by Pope Francis. The speaker had planned to resign at the end of the year, but he says the decision to step down early was a simple one.
This morning I woke up and walked up to Starbucks as usual, got my coffee, and came back and read, and walked up to Pete's Diner and saw everybody at Pete's, and got home and thought, yep, I think today's the day.
President Obama praised Boehner at a news conference and sent a message to whoever the next speaker will be.
We can have significant differences on issues, but that doesn't mean you shut down the government.
Talks about who will replace Boehner are already underway. In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
A source close to Boehner says the speaker only intended to lead the House for 2 terms. He said he decided to stay after leader Eric Cantor lost his run for re-election in Virginia. Pope Francis had a busy day today in New York. The pontiff started his second day at the UN General Assembly. There he discussed everything from his hopes for peace to his worries about climate change. He then paid a visit to the 9/11 Memorial and Ground Zero, saying a prayer for those who lost their lives 14 years ago.
We ask you, your goodness, to give eternal light and peace to all who died here.
His day ended with a drive through Central Park in the Pope Mobile and a celebration of Mass at Madison Square Garden. The pontiff will be traveling to Philadelphia tomorrow to end his U.S. tour. President Obama and his Chinese counterpart have agreed to find ways to avoid military issues in the Pacific. The move comes amid rising tension in the Pacific over China's territorial claims in the South and East China Seas. Obama says both the United States and China are united when it comes to North Korea.
We agreed to new channels of communication to reduce the risks of miscalculations between our militaries. The United States and China have reaffirmed our commitment to the complete and verifiable denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula in a peaceful manner. We demand the full implementation of all relevant UN Security Council resolutions, and we will not accept North Korea as a nuclear weapons state.
The two leaders agreed to 2 new annexes on air-to-air safety and crisis communications. The agreement is designed to build confidence between the U.S. and Chinese militaries. Volkswagen has a new CEO it hopes can help turn around the scandal-ridden automaker. Porsche CEO Matthias Muller was named the Volkswagen CEO today. He replaces Martin Winterkorn, who resigned earlier this week. The move comes a week after U.S. officials found Volkswagen falsified pollution tests on 500,000 Volkswagen and Audi diesel cars. The automaker later admitted that as many as 11 million vehicles worldwide may have manipulated emissions data. The scandal has caused Volkswagen to lose a quarter of its market value. The automaker also faces more than 30 lawsuits, and U.S. regulators could impose billions of dollars in fines. Today's the big day for Apple lovers waiting for the latest iPhone. The new and improved 6S and 6S Plus will be available today. The launch of any new iPhone usually means long lines at Apple stores and stores run by the major mobile carrier. Sometimes stores sell out, but Apple has been working with providers this year to make sure everyone has sufficient inventory to meet demand. And on Wall Street today, Treasury yields finished the week higher after falling yesterday to their lowest level in a month. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. celestial occurrence. What's in store above this weekend when we come back?
It looks like there's some showers on the way, bringing us some cooler temperatures. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in your weekend forecast next on Newswatch.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
On Sunday night and early Monday morning, parts of the world will have a chance to see a rare lunar event. The night will showcase a lunar eclipse coupled with a supermoon. Now that's a full moon that appears larger because it's at its closest point of its orbit with Earth. Seeing a lunar eclipse and supermoon at the same time is relatively rare. The last one was in 1982. The entire eclipse from first shadow to last will be visible from most of the Americas, including the eastern half of the United States. So just our location will be perfect, unless Allison tells us the rain and clouds will cover it up. But if you miss Sunday's supermoon eclipse, you won't get another opportunity to see one until 2033.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now it is 71 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Our wind is east 6 miles per hour. Now looking around the region, temperatures are looking at our precipcast right now. We do have this low pressure system that's in the southern part of the United States that's going to start giving us a chance of rain this evening around 7 o'clock, so right after our newscast ends. That is going to continue to work its way through tomorrow. You can see that chance of showers increasing, and then that chance continues tomorrow night and even possibly lingering into Sunday morning and lasting into Monday. You can see, but however, it will begin to work its way out, and then high pressure will take over, so we might be seeing some nicer conditions as we head into next week. So overnight tonight, those temperatures dropping into the 50s. We have 59 in Columbus, 56 in Cambridge, and 58 in Marietta, 59 in Ripley, and there is a chance of rain mainly in the southern part of our region as that low pressure system works its way in. Now tomorrow, warming up into the 70s, so about similar to what we felt today. 73 in Cambridge, 70 in Athens, 70 as well as in Ripley, 69 in Jackson, and 71 in Chillicothe. Now tonight, that chance of rain, like I mentioned, 58 degrees for our low, that slight chance of rain, but we will see Mostly cloudy skies for the most part when we aren't seeing those showers. Now that rain continuing into tomorrow with 70 degrees for our high. When we aren't seeing those showers, again, cloudy skies and with those winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now looking at our extended forecast here, you see that rain that we have for Sunday with 70 degrees, then warming up slightly for Monday with 72 and that a slight chance of showers. Now hopefully those clouds on Sunday will clear out overnight so we can get a chance to see that supermoon and lunar eclipse, but there is still that chance of showers lingering into Monday with 79 degrees, but warming up back into the 80s briefly on Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. Then by Wednesday, 75 degrees, and then dropping back into the lower 70s for Thursday and Friday with a mix of sun and clouds. So if you are heading out this weekend or have weekend plans, there's still some rain in your forecast, but it's just a chance, so don't expect it to be a total washout for any of your plans this weekend.
Thanks a lot, Allison. I'm Carly Bell. Here in sports, the Ohio Bobcats will look to improve to 4-0 when they take on a Big Ten opponent in the Minnesota Gophers. I'll have that preview. Plus, we'll have Gridiron Glory host Justin Holbrook out at Nelsonville to preview the Buckeyes matchup against the Logan Chieftains. I'll have that and more when Newswatch Sports takes over. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. I'm Carly Bell. Maction has been alive and well in the Big Ten. Now it's Ohio's turn when they take on the Minnesota Gophers tomorrow afternoon. The last Big Ten opponent for the Cats was Penn State back in 2012, and they came out victorious in that matchup. Defense has been key to Ohio's past two wins against Marshall and Southeastern Louisiana. Ohio's offensive presence has started off with quick plays from the man behind center in Darius Vick. However, Minnesota's D-line has deflected 14 passes so far this season, and they have a huge secondary in Eric Murray and Brian Bodie Calhoun. It will be a huge upset if Ohio pulls out the win. Kickoff is set for 3:30 tomorrow afternoon on the Big Ten Network. Now, before Saturday afternoons, there are always those Friday night lights. That's where Gridiron comes into play. We are now joined by the host himself, Justin Holbrook. He's out in Nelsonville. Justin, what do we have for this week's show?
Well, Carly, we have a full slate of games.
We're out here in Nelsonville, York, for their game against the undefeated Logan Chieftains. And speaking of undefeated, we have the Miller Falcons playing in what is their most important game this year against the Trimble Tomcats. And we have the River Valley Raiders hosting the Meigs Marauders. But right now, I got to go find my fan of the week. So back to you, Carly.
Do find that fan of the week. I'll be on the show in about 5 hours to reveal our Player of the Year watch list. Just in case you forgot, it's on tonight at 11:30 on WOUB. Now on to baseball. It's September, and guess what? Pirates have clinched their third straight playoff berth. Fun fact, they've clinched on the exact same date for the past 3 years. Also, last night's dub was the clubhouse's 10,000th win. They took on the Cubs this afternoon and took the win 3-2. The Cubs will look to clinch their playoff berth tomorrow with the win over Pittsburgh, but they'll need a loss from the San Francisco Giants to seal that deal. Now, while the Pirates are in, the Reds, they're just looking to finish their season strong. Although they're completely out of the playoff run, there's nothing wrong with trying to end with a few wins. They dropped a 6-4 loss to the Mets last night, and the Reds will look to rally back tonight against the Mets. On the bump from Cincinnati is Anthony Desclafani, The Mets have Noah Syndergaard starting. First pitch is set for 7:10. Up to Cleveland, the Indians, they took a 6-3 victory over the Twins last night. They're mathematically not out of the playoff race, but they'll need to win out, and they need a lot of help if they want to see October. They'll look to finish out strong when they take on the Royals tonight on the mound. For Cleveland is Carlos Carrasco. Edison Volquez, has the call for Kansas City. First pitch is set for 8:10. Speaking of the Royals, they clinched their AL Central last night. This is their first division title since 1985, back when the Bears won Super Bowl 20. It was an easy victory last night over the Mariners. Champagne showers and goggles were in the locker room. They're looking forward to October baseball, and they'll try to make their way towards that World Series. Now, if you have a Facebook or any form of social media, then the Patrick Kane rape case has been blowing up your timelines. The alleged victim's attorney withdrew from the case, saying that someone tampered with an evidence bag containing his client's rape kit. Now, the district attorney is firing back, saying that the allegation is false and all of this is a hoax.
The forensic evidence in this case was not tampered with, nor was it compromised. And the last person seen with the brown paper bag on August the 2nd of 2015 is the same person who purportedly discovered the brown paper bag at noon or thereabouts on September 22nd of 2015, that being the complainant's mother.
The attorney who dropped the case says the bag was anonymously delivered to the home of his now former client's mother. However, the police have stated that they have the rape kit in their evidence locker under lock and key. As for Kane, he has not been charged and has denied any and all charges that have come his way. I'm Carly Bell, and that's all I have here in sports, and back to you.
Thanks, Carly. The new baby panda at the National Zoo has a new name tonight. The First Ladies of China and the United States unveiled the name this afternoon. Baby Bebe was born in late August. He joins his sister Bao Bao, in the Washington exhibit. Allison, let's take a look at final weather.
Well, tonight, 58 degrees with a chance for some showers moving its way in this evening and through tonight. Otherwise, cloudy skies. Now, tomorrow, warming up to about 70 degrees, a little bit cooler than we felt today. That chance of showers continues through tomorrow, but mostly cloudy skies throughout the day when we aren't experiencing any of those showers. Winds east 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now looking at your 7-day forecast, those showers for Saturday linger into Sunday and a little bit into Monday morning, but then it clears up for the rest of the week.
Thanks, Allison. Hopefully this weekend won't be a damper on too many people's weekends. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Ann Jacobs. Stay tuned for WOUB's Gridiron Glory at 11:30 tonight. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.